to this episode of In the Principal Office. My name is Liza Zulva. You can call me Liza. And I'm an elementary school principal of MI Darul Ulum Karangpandan Pasuruan, East Java, Indonesia. On behalf of Global School Leaders, I'm delighted to be your host today. Usually being called to the principal's office is a scary thing, but I hope through this series we are able to change that. Today, I'm honored to have an exceptional leader, educator, and author visit me in my office. I'm excited to speak to him about leadership required for schools today. Please join me in welcoming Vikas Pota, founder of T4 Education, a digital platform he established as a response to the challenge posed by the pandemic on education globally. Vikas, welcome to the show. We are delighted to have you join us today.
Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to this opportunity, speaking about and recollecting my memories of visiting the principal's office.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So here is my first question for you. Okay, what was your relationship with your school principal? Did you ever get called to the principal office?
Yeah, so I was trying to recollect in terms of how many times I had actually met my own school principal. And I can tell you I had, my first recollection was, my family were leaving Kenya when I was 9 years old. And the school I was enrolled in, and we were moving to the UK. And the school I was enrolled in, we had to go and meet the school principal to say goodbye. And I remember going to his office, and it was the first time that I'd been to his office, and he was a pretty scary man, actually. There used to be corporal punishment in Kenya, and I remember the only time you really went to see a school principal was to get whacked. And so I wasn't looking forward to it, but he ended up to being a very gentle man who was very gracious when we left. The second was in London in my senior school, actually, where unfortunately my family had gone on vacation to India, and I'd come back and I'd contracted typhoid, which resulted in me being hospitalized for a month. And when I went back, my school principal actually called me into her office and spoke to me and was very sympathetic regarding what I'd gone through. And I really appreciated that as well. And I think what both these experiences show you is, of course, as school principals, you have to be taskmasters, right, to some degree, right? But you also, the fact that they made the effort to actually speak to a young child and see that they're okay is what really stands out for me.
Oh yeah, true, because I myself had an unforgettable experiment. The principal called me to the office. At that time, all I know was a problem student who was summoned with his parent. Therefore, maybe the principal office is a scary place for students, right? Okay, Vikas, you've been working in education for decades and have played many roles in ensuring children get access to an excellent education. And teachers are recognized for the role play in that education. Given this, how do you view the role of school principal?
I think it's the role of leadership, actually, that we should perhaps focus on. And that's why I'm really proud to be on the board of Global School Leaders. It's this focus on what actually drives change in anything or any aspect of our lives is just good leadership. And so when I think about school principals, often you go through the process of being a teacher, a head of department, and you escalate around that. And we hope that you accumulate the knowledge and the expertise to actually lead a group of people on a school basis. I think what we have to be more intentional about is the leadership training component of it. I think it's not a given that just because you go through the process, you'll end up as a good leader. And that's why I think the work of GSL is pretty important.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, as a school principals myself, these last 2 years have really pushed my understanding of leadership. I used to think that leading was only how to make people obey the system and rules, but now I can finally understand that leading is how to empower others by communicating, inspiring, motivating, and being able to appreciate others. So I'm curious to hear, given your work in building global communities of school, what is the kind of school leadership required to get education system back on track?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head, actually, Lisa. which is I think any leader, and especially school principals, I think they just have to be incredible communicators. And I think it's a superpower actually that we have to develop. It's not something that's naturally given to most of us. And so you have to work at it. But I can't think of a more demanding job than a school principal. I think there was a study that was actually conducted that said that a school teacher, out of all the professions in the world, is probably the profession that makes the most decisions on a daily basis. It's something like every 15 seconds, a school teacher will make a decision of one kind or another. And so when you just roll that up to a school principal, you can imagine the challenges of the role. And I think that when you have to carry forward a school, carry forward a team, carry forward an organization and strive for excellence, communication has to be embedded at the core of it. Because without that, you just can't do anything.
Yeah, that is so true. Okay, so my next question involves a little games, a quick round of rapid fire. I have a set of sentences that are incomplete. We would like for you to complete them. Okay, so the first thing that comes to your mind, just say it. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay, great. Here goes. My first question is, joy in the classroom looks like?
Happy children.
Happy children. Agree. Children today need?
Compassion, encouragement. They need to be given wings.
Okay. School in the future need to?
Honor and celebrate its teachers.
Agree. School leadership is?
One of the toughest things out there.
Okay, that was fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for playing along. And finally, will be the last question for you. If you were a school principal today, what would you focus on? Any advice for all the school principal out there listening to this?
Yeah, I mean, so look, just today, the day we're speaking, we revealed the top 10 shortlists of the world's best school prizes. And whilst we've created these prizes and they're called the world's best school prizes, everyone thinks it's about grades and it's about academic rigor and all those things, which is very important. I'm not negating that. But we recognize actually that what really leads to a transformational experience for a child is often also connected to the connective tissue of a school, the culture of a school. And so we, for example, focus on 5 areas. So we have a lot of evidence about school improvement that says schools that are good at community partnership and collaboration do better than those that are not. Schools that prioritize healthy living do better than those that are not. Schools that empower children to take environmental action do better than those that are not. Schools that know how to build resilience and overcome adversity do better than those that are not. Schools that are innovative at the core do better than those that are not. And so when you think about what is required to actually lift the boat for everyone, I think we also have to look at these aspects as opposed to just focus on grades. Because if you focus on these softer connective tissues, then I think grades will follow.
Okay, good. Okay, because it was an absolute pleasure to speak with you.
Likewise.
We are lucky to have people like you who think so deeply about collective leadership and its importance in building a future for children around the world. We cannot thank you enough for this conversation.
You're very kind. Thank you for your time. And like I said, I'm a big fan of global school leaders and what they do. And if you have the opportunity, you should absolutely embrace everything that they put out. Because I think the world needs better leaders.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad to meet you tonight. Okay, to our viewers, thank you for joining us. As you listen to this conversation, do let us know what you think is the kind of leadership needed to build excellent school. Leave your talk in the comments below. See you in our next episode of In the Principal Office. Thank you and good day.